Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Illuminated Mind podcast. Before we go into this beautiful interview that I just got to experience with a dear graduate and now certified Anahat meditation teacher, Liliana Ardizzone, she will pronounce her name better than I do in a moment. She actually asked me, because English isn't her first language, and she said she expresses herself so beautifully in writing that she asked me to read her recent testimonial, which I will do now out of respect for Lily, and then we'll let the interview speak for itself. But she asked me to read this testimonial here, so that's what I'm doing before you go into the interview. She said it's a review of the Anahat Meditation System, and yet it's really just such a dear testimonial about the school and this overall work. She said, "My journey of deep transformation began when I decided to enroll in Matthew Brownstein's course to become a certified interpersonal hypnotherapist through the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy. This training profoundly reshaped my relationship with my emotions and false beliefs, offering me a deeper understanding of how I create my own reality. Inspired by this new realization, I was drawn to continue my path with the Anahat Meditation System. When I embarked on this journey, my intention was simple: to learn to meditate and open my heart. This meant releasing suppressed emotions and allowing myself to fully feel whatever emerged. What I didn't anticipate was the profound transformation and indescribable beauty I would encounter along the way. Through dedicated practice and the unwavering support and guidance of Matthew, the system gradually revealed itself, unveiling a deep inner peace that now serves as my compass in life. Letting go of what no longer serves me has become effortless, allowing me to surrender to each moment with acceptance. By welcoming emotions as they arise and remaining present with an open heart, I stay connected to Spirit. An unexpected yet extraordinary part of this journey was my Kundalini awakening. I experienced the power of Shaktipat when there was a spontaneous surge of energy from my heart center, which flowed into a colleague's heart center. In that moment, we both became immersed in a profound current of energy, merging as one in a state of pure peace that transcended time and space. The Anahat Meditation System has guided me to a state of awareness where I recognize the gift of free will, the power to align my true essence and embody pure peace and freedom, regardless of external or internal circumstances. This path requires commitment and consistency, but its rewards are boundless. Today, I am honored to be a certified Anahat meditation instructor and invite you to embark on this transformative journey. Filled with mystical experiences, it leads you back to your true self, the I Am, embracing the eternal now where pure peace resides. My love and gratitude to Matthew Brownstein from Liliana Ardizzone, which she will pronounce her name better in a moment, February 4th, 2025. So I hope you'll enjoy this interview with our dear graduate and now Anahat meditation teacher, Lily, and thank you for listening. Okay, welcome everyone to the Illuminated Mind podcast and a successful graduate road tour. I used to go around the country meeting with graduates and interviewing them. And then, of course, we started doing it on Zoom, and then we started the podcast, became the Illuminated Mind podcast. So let me welcome Liliana Ardizzone. You can tell me if I got your name, if I pronounced your name right.
It's Ardizzone.
Thank you. You say it better than I do. Welcome, Lily. Lily's a relatively recent graduate of the school. When did you graduate?
In 2023.
Oh, okay, good. It's been a while. Yeah, excellent. So, you sent such a beautiful testimonial to me recently, which I'm not going to read here, but I would hope you can tell us the spirit of what that was. But I said, maybe you'd like to join me for this interview because you had such a profound experience with this school. And then, of course, you became a certified Anahat meditation teacher. So I thought it'd be really nice for us to dive into all of that. So tell us about you, please, who you are, your background, what led you to hypnotherapy.
Okay, thank you, Matthew, for having me. This is my pleasure. It's an honor for me to be here. And I came to hypnosis to your school because I was looking for help about one physical issue that I had. And you introduced me to another kind of hypnosis, hypnotherapy. It was more centered in myself. Everything was coming from me. It was the way that you approach, and I was looking for a solution outside of me. But you make me to realize that it was not outside. I was looking in the wrong place.
Beautiful. So you came to the school, and I remember you saying you had a physical health challenge, and also in the testimonial, you said you wanted to open your heart, you wanted to learn how to deal with your emotions, and I hear you saying that the training pointed you to look inside yourself. The solution is inside of you.
Yes, yeah. When I had my sessions with you, the first thing that we noticed was that my heart was totally closed. I didn't realize that. And it was very interesting because I am a psychologist. I am in my country, Colombia. And I work helping people to open their heart, expressing their emotions. And it was shocking for me to be aware of that I was suppressing my emotions as much as I could. Then you offered to me to do open the heart meditations, and it was amazing because it was the way that I was in contact with my emotions. And by the way, still I am doing the meditations every day. And it gave me another way to approach my emotions, to start fighting with them, allow to them to be there, give them space, and be the witness of them.
Nice. So it's curious that your background in psychology and you help others to open your heart. What was the big difference between the training you had and the training you received when it came to realizing how important your heart is in you when you never quite made that connection? I'm curious about your thoughts.
No. Yeah. It was shocking for me to know that, to realize that. In being a psychologist, I help people to go to the root of the cause of the problems that they have, or why they have these emotions that they don't want to have. And the way that we do is to go there to help them to control the emotions. That is the big difference.
Okay.
Because we gave them techniques. Breathe this, do this, but we don't lead them and guide them to be aware of their emotions, allow the emotions to be there, and start fighting with them. We don't teach that to them.
Gotcha. So you learn through the school to properly move through emotions so they can transform rather than just controlling them. And I definitely hear you applied that to yourself in a significant way. That's beautiful. What was it like to go through the whole training for you, especially having a background in psychology?
It was amazing, transformative for me in the way that now I approach to my clients. Because in the training, you took in a very magistral way, different tools, different techniques that in some way I knew about them, but I never applied them in the way that you do. It's so deep and it's so very well done in the exact moment when you need to do that to the person, to the client. It does. In my career, it was like taking pieces for separated and work with them. In your training, you take everything is a wholeness and you work with all of this with the person. And I will speak about me too, because in the training, I received a lot of growth, a lot of healing, transformation, and it was integral. It was from my emotions to my inner child to my transactional relations. It was amazing in the way that you did, in the way that you explain to us and you teach us how to heal people. And actually, that is healing. because in psychology, we heal, but it takes time, a lot of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't heal, we only teach them how to make a room for the emotion and close them there. In this training, we transformed lives very quickly. And my life was transformed a lot. Yes.
Nice. I appreciate hearing that. I know as I've gone through lots of different trainings, you get, as you're saying, pieces of the puzzle, but not necessarily a comprehensive system that's duplicable, that just pretty much works every time. So it's beautiful to hear. I know as you went through the training, you had a very profound spiritual awakening in your testimonial. You talked about mystical experiences that you had, a Kundalini awakening, and actually transferring that energy between you and a classmate when you were doing some work. I wonder if you want to talk about, like when you talk about the depth, the profound spiritual experiences you've had through the journey.
Yes. Yeah. During the training, first I was interested in the books that you wrote. Then I bought the Sacred Geometry of Meditation and the Anahat Meditation, the novel.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated with that. And I decided to do the course Anahat Meditation System. And while I was doing my training, I was also doing my meditations. Then we met with my second group because I took the course twice. Then I met with them, and it was a beautiful meeting. We shared together a weekend, and we had different activities. Even we had a meditation with you, and it was awesome. It was at night. Everybody was in the first floors. At some point, I was alone there, and my classmate came downstairs, and she passed me, and at some point I feel very compulsed to call her, and I called her name, and she turned. When she turned, it was incredible energy that came out from my chest, from my heart chakra. It was like a big and strong ray of light, and it went directly to her chest and anchored there. We couldn't move. I noticed that I almost fell. She almost fell. We were like this, and the only thing that came to me or through my mouth was open your heart. And it was the only thing that nothing else existed at that moment, only that and the feeling. And the energy was growing, and I felt the resistance on her chest, and it was a lot of pressure. And I started to feel pain on my chest. Finally, the only thing was open your heart. But it was peaceful, lovely. It was amazing, the feeling. And the energy was expanded. At some point, I was like open, and it was all. And the energy was like explosion, and both of us almost fell. Our balance was not good. Didn't know what happened. The whole living room was full of light, love, and peace. We were feeling very peaceful and emotional, very emotional. We hugged each other, and she asked me what happened, and I said, I don't know. And we were feeling so light. We were feeling so different. And it was like open. It was totally open, our hearts. And the feeling was emptiness, full of light. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It does. Yeah.
And we were hugging for a long time. feeling that, and it was very amazing, is the word that I can say. After that, both of us wrote to you, and you explained to us what had happened there. It was in some way, spontaneously, I woke up here Shakti energy, and we were very grateful for that. And it was, for me, was the most amazing experience. And it was a result of the all training that I had, all the meditation that I had done in Anahat Meditation System, and with your guidance and support.
Thank you for sharing that in detail, because all of this work with the school, my books, all the teachings, the Anahat Meditation System, it all started with me on January 13th, 1992, when I had an experience just like that, where I, for no reason at all, I was only 19 years old. I didn't know anything about this, but everything became light. And I was completely open, and it was empty of a separate self, but full of universe, full of light, love, joy, peace, bliss. And I dedicated my whole life to figuring out what was that and how do I duplicate that in myself and others. So I definitely know what you mean. And it's the whole reason why I do this work, because of my first experience of being open to infinite universal divine love, which is just everywhere. And we all walk around like the fish in the ocean who's claiming to be thirsty, when there's light and love all around us at every moment. So it's so beautiful to hear, because it really is the essence of the work. And all you did was say to your classmate, I mean, not all you did, but you just said like open, and you and her, you just opened to what was there. So it's beautiful to hear. And you've repeated the training twice. So it took a little bit of time to get to that type of opening, but I commend you on sticking with it and being persistent to do that. And then you did get into the Anahat Meditation System. So what has that been like for you? You have hypnotherapy training, you've opened your heart, you clear your blocks, you're able to help your clients better. And now you have the system of meditation. I'm glad you read my books, The Sacred Geometry of Meditation and the Anahat Meditation System. What has that journey into Anahat meditation been like for you?
It is, because it's continuous.
Nice.
It's a transformation. And since I was a child, I had many different experiences with the spiritual world. And I knew that I was not a body. However, it was only a concept. Through the training and through the Anahat meditation, I really had that insight. Now I learned to be the witness, the things that are happening in front of me. As you say, this is like a movie. And I can be watching that movie without being affecting. Even if I am affected, I learn how to allow these emotions to be there, to give them space. And through the Anahat meditation training, I got different mystical experiences beside of that. It was very big. I comment to you one day, I saw things. You explained to me what it was. It was some kind of hallucination, but it's part of the the spiritual growth.
Sure.
I felt, for example, one day I was doing breath work, and I really went totally out of my body, and it happened while I was doing my Anahat meditation system, and I went out, totally out, and I heard I went to, I don't know where I was, but it was expanded. It was oneness. It was beautiful. When I came back, my body was not responded. It was like gelatin.
Yeah.
And even my husband wanted to contact you because he didn't know what happened. And I barely could speak because I was not in my body.
Yeah.
It took me very long time, hours, to come back because I went to sleep. The next morning, the experience was not there anymore.
Yeah.
And also, I was in a breath work with my classmates and doing practicals with Bianca.
Mm.
And one of them was giving me breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I went to a past life.
Mm-hmm.
They were helping me to do this. And one moment, nobody knew what happened. And I felt like a funnel was
Mm-hmm.
open.
Yeah.
And the room was full of light, love, compassion. It
Mm-hmm.
was amazing.
Yeah.
And I started to speak, but it was like, no, this regular me.
Uh-huh.
And it was very lovely, very compassionate, helped me to heal that memory, the emotions, everything.
Mm.
And I started to give words,
Uh-huh.
but very, very deep
Mm-hmm.
messages to each
Yeah.
one of them. Eh, Even Bianca received her message.
Mm-hmm.
And when finally it was over my experience, I had difficulty to come back, but
Mm-hmm.
finally I grounded.
Uh-huh.
And everybody was crying,
Mm.
very emotional, and it was part of that mystical experiences thanks to Anahat meditation.
Right.
It was awesome. It was beautiful.
Yeah. You're talking about in a relatively short period of time from when you started the training a few years ago, repeating the training, doing Anahat meditation, doing breath work. You're talking about learning to be the witness, to keep your heart open to your emotions. I know you've been through my Peace Under All Circumstances teachings, which you're alluding to and practice today. Yeah, opening your heart, awakening other people to this, experiencing infinite, universal love, compassion in any moment. And then, yeah, I mean, I just hear like all out of body experiences. You weren't even in your body, offering messages to others. It sounds like really profound growth. And then you moved through to become a certified Anahat meditation teacher, which I commend you on because the system to me is very sacred and dear. My whole life is really dedicated to it, even though, of course, I run a hypnotherapy school. The spiritual undertones are very much based on Anahat meditation. And you became a teacher of it. And I've only certified a handful of people over many years to be able to teach it. So what led you to want to teach that to others?
To lead and guide them to not only hear about this experience,
Mm-hmm.
but live in that way. Because this is not something that you read and you, oh, okay, that is there. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is living,
Yeah.
living in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, all of your teachings have the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is very profound transformation that people can get through each one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
more you had all of them at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because peace under all circumstances helps help me to to really go through the situations. The situations are there, the
Mm-hmm.
unwanted events are there. However, it's my choice
Mm-hmm.
how I face them,
Nice.
being a consciousness, being the witness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of the learning of Anahat meditation. And I want to teach people that there is really another way, a
Mm-hmm.
very easy way to live happy. And happiness is inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not related to the environment. It's not related to people around us. It's not related to the job or any external circumstances.
Yeah.
Actually, it's only in us, and it's
Mm-hmm.
our choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I heard you in the beginning saying you realized it's you. Like you have to focus on you. Every good Zen teacher I've ever studied with, they always talk about a direct pointing back to the self. Like, look at you, it's all about you. So any good teacher just throws it back at what's going on in your heart, what's going on in your mind. And yeah, it's just beautiful to see your whole journey and how the spirituality is blended into all the work, the meditation, peace under all circumstances, hypnotherapy. Again, we were talking about this experience of universal light and love when you're empty of your false self and your heart's truly open and you experience what's there. And it doesn't always last. Like you said, it could be gone the next morning, but you become addicted to tapping into it again because you realize that's the solution to everything. So I wonder what your thoughts are on the importance of that light, which is essentially spirit, right? Spirituality, bringing that into hypnotherapy or in your field in psychology. Like what are your thoughts on facilitating someone's process? Like, and how important the spirituality is, because a lot of what you learn in universities, psychology trainings, they don't really touch upon the spirituality. And to me, my whole model is facilitating enlightenment. Let's move people to awakening. And it's hard to imagine, although I know it exists, psychology trainings, even to the PhD level, that never actually teach you how to awaken someone to their divine self. So, what is your thoughts about the importance of spirituality or facilitating enlightenment in the fields of therapy or hypnotherapy?
Before this training, I used to ask to the person what was their higher perspective
Yeah.
and use them as a reference to work with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was based on the books, based on the things that they knew about
Yeah.
that is very different. And it is a very big gap between that teachings and be the spiritual being that you are.
Mm.
So now with this perspective, I help them to see inside of them instead to focus on the external world and healing from the emotions, the false beliefs, all these things that are really inside, and go to the who really we are. As you teaching them, peace under all circumstances, that is the first question. Who am I?
Right.
Then guide to the people to that and do the discerning meditation is very powerful. Then that is like, wow, now I realized that I was totally lost looking for answers outside. And sometimes that take a little longer because we are so accustomed to the teachings of other religions. However, when the client realizes that is like a big, big window opens for them and it's the truth there.
Yeah.
Then it's transformative and they really got healed. That's the way that I do now.
Yeah, beautiful. It's that direct pointing back within oneself and yeah, realizing, of course, the answers are inside of you. And I hear you saying question one of peace under all circumstances, who are you, becomes the real essence of the work. It's not just about how do you interact with your husband or how do you deal with your boss or how can you not be frustrated while driving or with your children. Like that's all great. Any progress towards peace is great. Yet here, I just hear you saying, just wake people up to who they truly are, right? Move them inside themselves, discern what is real and what is unreal, what's truth and illusion, and help them to realize you are that truth, you are that peace, you are that light, you are that love, you are already perfect, whole, and complete. It's just beautiful to hear that you got it and you can guide others there. So do you have a most memorable case history, someone you've worked with? Maybe you could tell us without breaking confidentiality, what a powerful experience you had with a client?
I had many of them. However, I would like to refer to one special. I think it's special because it touched different topics that I learned in your training. We were looking for, it was a woman, it was over her 40s, and she was looking for the reason why her mother was, it was an event in her life. She became sick, but having migraines, something like that. And her mother offered to take care of her for 1 day, 2 days. And after that, her mother started to be too much on her, asking to her, where you go, don't go, come in, I will take care of you, drink this, take this. And she said, I don't want to be have nasty behaviors with my mother. I respect her, and I don't want to have her on top of me. Then we went to look for the root of that. And I was expecting to go to a childhood experience, however, to past life. And we found there that she was a man over there. She was a man. I will speak about he because I am speaking about the past life. He became sick, having headaches, feeling terrible sick. They discovered that he had cancer in a tumor in his head. Then he asked to the wife, please promise me that you will take care of me. It's not a matter what happened to me, you will take care of me. And he promised that. And she promised that to him. And every time when he had the opportunity, he asked to her over and over to promise him to take care of him. And she did every time. When we went through, he died. And the woman was destroyed. She did the best that she could to keep him alive. And he moved through to the afterlife. Over there, we discovered that he said, the soul said, oh, I realized that my wife there is my mother here, the present life. Then I did other things, and I brought him again to that past life to process that vow and all these things with his wife. And we did the forgiveness, the acceptance, all these steps. And he departed. He left the body feeling much better and at peace. When he went there to the afterlife, something came on top of him. It was like a light, very beautiful light, and took something from his forehead. It was a gelatin. He described that as a gelatin heavy substance. And it was very relief. He had a very relief from that. Then we did the healings and all these things over there. He came back. I took her to the present moment. And it was an epiphany, actually, because she realized that, wow, when I will say any age, when I was 42 at that time, I started to be sick with the tumor. Now is the same age that I had when my mother started to be on top of me, very urgent to take care of me. And we did our things and bye-bye. Later, I knew that she didn't have any more the migraines. Her mother changed her attitude and her behavior was normal again. That reminded me that when you taught us the transpersonal hypnotherapy, if you heal one part of the relationship, the other part is automatically healed. And that happened there. And also the physical karma that she got from that time. It was the headaches, the migraines here. That it was awesome to see in action your teachings.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really the essence of interpersonal hypnotherapy, is get to the very root cause. I hear in your case here, with your client, it went back to a past life, which is always insightful, right? And it was able to resolve the physical karma, as you call it, as we teach in the school about how past life impressions linger with the body, but also the relationships tend to linger. We tend to reincarnate with the same people until we heal it. And as you said, it only takes one person to heal a relationship. So what you just said is the essence of, to me, what I teach is don't just heal the migraine, heal the relationship and watch how the migraine just goes away. That all healing is rooted in forgiveness, essentially, and it's always rooted in relationships. So it's beautiful that you got that and you're seeing it with your clients. It's powerful.
Yeah, it was a big opportunity. Something that I would like to add about the
Mhm.
training and the way that you do that is that you integrate different things as I said before, and also you integrate these different approaches to the spiritual world about, I don't know if it is in the way I should call in that way or I mention in that way, but I want to refer to the remote view,
Mm-hmm.
the entity attachments,
Yeah.
and things related to that spiritual world,
Mm-hmm.
because I had that experiences in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beautiful and refreshing to see how you integrate them to here. And also I did the third level for Reiki
Mm-hmm.
to have a certificate that say that I was able to transfer that energy through
Mm-hmm.
me before of that, but
Yeah.
I needed to show it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And you in your training, you integrate all of this. Is a holistic in some way, or maybe it's really holistic the way that you do. And you not only work in the physical, but more in the inside of us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's beautiful. I have Reiki training as well. I didn't get to do the third degree, but I had gotten the idea that there's some energy transfer. Obviously, there's this light and love we're talking about, and okay, we can send it through us. Um, Remote viewing, that's somewhat in Reiki, the ability to like transfer thought at a distance, certainly transfer energy. But yeah, what I wrote in my book, The Sutras on Healing and Enlightenment, there's a whole chapter on long distance healing and the taking on of karma. And the idea that minds are joined or that we're quantumly entangled, and the thought, oh, you only have to heal one person to heal the relationship. And then, of course, entity attachment deals with the relationship. So, yeah, it to me, just over years of being with this, it all synthesizes into, oh, there's a method for healing. There's a simple, really simple path of enlightenment, but we're all so busy trying to reinvent the wheel to figure it out, where things like A Course in Miracles and the deep teachings of the great traditions, it's all already there. It's just taking the pieces of the puzzle, like we said when we started, putting them together into a comprehensive system that's duplicable, meaning like anyone else can do it, and things that just work. So I thank you so much for being with me to discuss all this. Please respond to anything we were just saying, or I also would love to ask you for any closing words of wisdom, if you could offer some of your deepest insights for anyone listening, what that might be.
Oh, I forgot to mention the A Course in Miracles. It
Sure.
was another beautiful teachings that you integrate
Mhm.
that.
Good.
And as you say, in the Course in Miracles say, how simple is the obvious?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not so simple when you don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's in the manual for teachers about sorting out the real from the unreal. And once you realize, oh, all I want is peace, love, joy, bliss, oneness, of course, uses the word God, so whatever word we put for that, that's all you want. And all you have to do is keep choosing that. Right. And the course just says, do only that. Just keep moving into that. Of course, we talk about in our school dealing with the shadow self and dealing with what's within the subconscious, the dark side of the light chasers theme. But really, it's like, okay, this is stuff I don't want to be closed, to be filled with pain. So let me open that, clear that. But then really, you just keep putting your attention on the divine. How simple, the obvious. Like in core transformation, right? The main lesson we get is everything I thought I needed to experience what I want, I actually already have that. Like having and being are the same. What I have, which is love, is what I am, which is love. And that's inside of us. Peace is inside of us. And I hear you really got in that and you're able to share it with others. So thank you, Lily. That's beautiful. If someone's listening, they want to contact you for private sessions, or you are a certified Anahat meditation teacher now, somebody wants some support in that, how could people reach out to you?
Okay, my website is my full name,
Mhm, mhm,
lilianaardizzone.com. My Gmail is lilianaardizzone@gmail.com.
mhm. Nice.
And I would like to invite all of you to, to do the course, not even thinking to help others, however you can, and it's the goal. However, it is so much for ourselves and the
Mhm,
growing that we got. Also, do the exercises and read the book or listen the book that is actually free on YouTube. Peace under all circumstances. Open the heart. Is everything is so transformative and integrated. Then I want to thank you, Matthew. Thank you for all these teachings, for all this magnificent work that you have done, putting all of them together in an easy way. And you make sense to all of them to transform lives as miracles because it's very quickly,
mhm.
not like traditional psychotherapy that we take long time to do that,
Yeah.
and sometimes we don't do that,
Mhm.
don't get the goal. However, with your technique is duplicable. We can repeat that,
Yeah.
and we can heal ourselves and heal others. And also through practicums, we got a lot of healing too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, all the practicum hours can be radically transformative in our training. Thank you for plugging the work and, just acknowledging that it is powerful. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this. But it's like I know this stuff works. You're living proof of it. And yeah, I'm so glad to have you on this podcast or whatever we're calling this, because yeah, more people need to know. So I'm glad you're out there doing this work. And I thank you so much, Lily. You're such just a honored to have you as part
Thank
of
you.
our journey. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Namaste.
Namaste, Lily.